What it do, boo-boo? We're here. We're doing it. It's our weekend reading. How is everyone? I'm good. They're having Oktoberfest in Germantown, like near my work, which is really funny because I don't think that Germantown, the neighborhood that I'm in, is named after Germantown because there were like German settlements there. I think it was more like named after Germantown, Pennsylvania, where General Francis Nash died in like one of the Revolutionary War battles, which Nashville's named after General Francis Nash. And I know that because we have a piece of art at the restaurant. It's a long story. Anyway, but then also like Oktoberfest is actually in September, because it's more about something about a honeymoon, like seasonal thing. It's not actually like October as in the month October. It's like spelt differently. So I thought that was funny. It's like we're in Germantown that's not really Germantown, and we're having Oktoberfest that's not in September. It's in October. It's like, it's almost like racist Oktoberfest. Like we don't understand what it is, but we're just having sausage and beer. But we did our best. Anyway, our restaurant is unrelated, but that was going on, so it's been like kind of rowdy in the area, and it was nice and brisk today and chilly, and I had a section on the patio, and everybody was like happy, and it was really laid back. So that was nice. You never know what kind of pace you're going to be looking at, especially on the weekend. So I was happy with just ease, harmony, bliss, fall weather. It was really nice. Okay, but we are here for our oracle reading and tarot reading for the weekend. And I'm cracking up, guys, because I'm just like, our readings, they're not really that all over the place. Like, I feel like they really progress in this like storyline, and we'll have like periods where we're getting like kind of similar messages like over and over and over again. And I'm just wondering like what is going on in our lives, because for months now it's like all we've been getting is like the Nine of Swords of the person just like wrenching and like up all night like in worry and anguish. And then we'll get like the Ten of Swords, which is the person who's just like more dead than dead with like 10 swords in them on the ground. We'll get like Five of Cups, which is like misery and sorrow, and like Three of Swords. Like what is happening out there? Like what are we going through that's like we're like staying in these cycles of anguish? Because I feel like for the most part, all of us are really transforming, and I think that a lot of us are feeling an up level in our lives, and we've got a lot of things expanding and starting, and so there's like our vibration is lifting, our consciousness is lifting, like we're getting happier. But I feel like there is like maybe one key factor or element or situation in our lives, whether it be like a person or a thing or a situation or a mindset or a perception or an attitude. There's something that is going on that is keeping us blocked, and it's something like it's like, I think it's grouped as a thing. Like, I don't think it's just like general like negativity spray. I think that there is a situation that needs to be addressed that is the final like main blockage in the situation. And it's like we're getting to the bottom of that, or at least we maybe can get some insight or start reflecting on what that might be over the weekend. So we got midnight, the most magical hour of all. I love this girl. What is she doing? She's like on the clock. Midnight, most magical hour of all. Vampire, emotional intelligence. We got Wheel of Fortune, and we got Five of Cups. Now, what I'm seeing as a whole right now in this storyline is that, so we all, like if you've been watching these readings, we've been talking about like this whole year has been this bridge, this transition from one era of our lives that's like going by the wayside now, and there's a new era that is beginning, right? And it's not even like a new chapter. It's like the next book in a series, or like the sequel of a movie or something. So we're starting this really big new chapter, this new cycle in our life. Right now, we are in a liminal space between the ending of our kind of old way of being, our old way of thinking, our old self, our old cycle, our old life. And we are, in this transitional period on the way into this new beginning, right? This is like kind of a slow and gradual beginning. It's a rebirth. We just came out of the Lunar New Year over Rosh Hashana. It's like the birthday of all mankind. And so on that day, we basically get like a fresh new soul for the whole year. And so literally we are in this huge beginning in so many ways. It's being supported by beginnings within beginnings within beginnings. We also have the full moon in Aries coming up, which is also very much like beginning energy, starter energy. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's the baby, it's the beginning, it's spring. It's like that Ace of Wands energy. So it's a burst of newness and of fresh starts. So we're in this in-between period before we've really kicked off into like, both feet forward, embodying this new up level. We're still sort of like the newborn baby cow or like little goat or something that's like all wobbly on their legs, learning to walk but shaky. So while we're in this moment, the universe is like, hey, look, I'm trying to turn your luck around. I'm trying to change the fates for you and change your destiny and turn the wheels in your favor. But there is a real soul-sucking situation, like bringing you so down that I can't like get you out of like unfrozen from like looking at what was and what was wasted and what should have and could have been, right? The thing that's already spilt out and ruined and passed you by. It's like you're getting stuck there and you can't move forward. This card, the vampire, it talks about energy vampires. It talks about something that sucks the life force out of you by wearing you down, by, sucking your energy, sucking your attention, sucking your emotions, right? It's something that is wearing you out, but is not returning. It's just taking and taking and taking. So think about something in your life that is putting you on a cycle of basically grief. Like, I feel like you're going round and round where it's like you'll get started in a direction and you'll feel excited, and then things will kind of like hit a bump, and then there will be disappointment, and then it's like, then there's going to be like a pause or like a disruption, and then there's like the bargaining and like the anger and the acceptance, and then back again, all around again. And it's like the grief cycle, right? And I know for myself, like when I was really burnt out with production work and I wanted to leave, but I didn't know quite how to do it. It was like sucking the life out of me, and the jobs, like everything was just like, it was like my vibration was making it even worse. It was like when I'd go out and run errands for set, it would be like, even at the stores, like things were just more difficult than they needed to be, because it was just like I was mired in that energy and it was sucking the life out of me. There were also other things in my life that were also sucking the life out of me, and really taking away from my inner peace, right? At the time, my relationship was very stressful and difficult, because I was trying to hold something together that was really trying to end, and it needed to end. And so it was causing me a lot of extra grief, stress, inflammation, just causing blocks in general in my life, right? And then last year I made some changes. I changed my job. My boyfriend and I at the time broke up. And so, ex-boyfriend, he's not my boyfriend anymore. He just was then. And we were friends before we went out. So like, I don't know him as a friend or anything. So That's why I referred to him that way. But yeah, so after that, it was like all of a sudden I felt like a new person, and so much of the stress and the grief and the worry and the anxiety just lifted, and I felt like a new person, and I basically like dropped like 40 pounds like almost overnight, and I like reversed aged, and like my hair thickened back up again, and it was almost like the spell was broken and the curse was lifted, right? So it's time. There's a very magical space right now where like we can really embody that like higher version of ourselves and really step into more of our potential and feel more fulfilled and happier and like unencumbered and less weighed down by life than we ever have. But it's going to take getting to the bottom of whatever the situation is that's causing such like a shadow over your situation, that's so emotionally draining, that's so energetically draining, that might be draining your resources, right? So think about it. This could be the way that you perceive the world. It could be, not wanting to forgive, like if you're still carrying around parent wounds and you're still angry at your parents, like it's like just make peace with them. It's not that whatever trauma you went through was okay. It's just that you are not like hurting them. You're only hurting yourself and blocking your own life, right? And that misery, it feels awful to carry around. Like it feels terrible to carry around a grudge. It feels terrible to feel angry or bitter or resentful, right? So it's like, what can you let go of? What can you start moving forward from? And we're not spiritually bypassing, like we're going and we're looking at it further. It's just that we're not like holding on with like the bitterness anymore, the vigor, It's like learn from it, heal the situation, but don't keep holding on and like repeating the story to keep getting worked up and keep yourself upset about the whole thing. Start to try to reflect on it and then, let it go and move forward and make peace with it for your own good, right? Because upset can cause you to be sick. Working for years on end in a stressful environment can literally take years off of your life. It could make you sick. It can make you deathly ill. Staying in a relationship that keeps you miserable, that keeps you stressed out, that keeps you, it keeps you, like you're not getting your needs met, like it keeps you deprived of like the basic, things that the human soul craves. Like that makes you sick after a while. So it's your life, right? Like we don't get another one. We can't get time back that we waste. These are the days of our lives. And yeah, once they're over, right? So what is it that's putting a cloud over your situation? Is it worth it? Is it worth missing out on fulfillment, inner peace, happiness, joy, love, expansion, excitement, adventure? It might be scary. It's always scary to transition, right? But before you know it, it'll be old hat. You'll be all broken into your new life and it'll be like routine again, right? So, don't be afraid to face fear, right? Don't like let yourself lose all your edge, I mean, it's pretty exciting, like walking into the unknown of life. I think when I see people who are my same age, but who like seem so much older and like so much older, when I check their IDs, I'm like, what is this? What happens to people? And I think they just get in very safe, predictable, mundane, repetitive situations for years on end, and they never have to like really push themselves out of their comfort zone, and I think they just get like really settled in, and I think it ages you faster. I really do, because I think about all of the people out there in the world doing really exciting things, who are big thinkers, who are like entrepreneurs and inventing things. And I feel like these people always stay really edgy and young because they're always out there like in the thick of it, like facing fears, like pushing the edge, pushing themselves out of their comfort zone. And it's gives you adrenaline. It keeps you alive, keeps you vital, you know? It's like, I don't know, it's like when you're, I don't know, have you ever been out like in a situation, maybe out in nature, and for some reason, you know, you get a rush of adrenaline. Maybe you're in an emergency situation, and I'm just thinking about how I've been like caught out in like lightning storms and stuff out in the woods. And when your adrenaline hits you and you're surrounded by nature, it's like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden you're like, all of your senses are so sharp, right? And your instincts are like, you've got your like antennas up. It's pretty crazy. I can't remember how I got on that roll. It's very late and I'm tired. But I think that that's it. I think that we just need to start really looking into, like, within ourselves, what is this that keeps us in this grief cycle, right? What is it that's bringing us so much grief? Can we let go? Can we heal? Can we evolve through this? You know, can we cut this out of our lives, or just change it or adjust it? What can we do to shift the situation? Because the universe is supporting us in this, but we do have this window of time that's not going to last forever. And we want to make these changes before we move into this next cycle. Because the more that we resist this growth, the more uncomfortable it's going to get. And we're going to keep repeating like these same lessons, and it's going to get really frustrating and really boring and really stale, because the whole human race is going into this next cycle. And so it's going to feel very polarized for the people who are like, okay, yeah, I have made major transformational strides in my life recently, and I'm moving forward. But then the people who decided to like hang on, for dear life to the past, it's like, we're going to start feeling a real gap there. All right, you guys, I think that's it. So, liminal space between a big ending and a huge beginning in life. We have a chance to really start with our best foot forward, the clean slate, to really start stepping into that person that we can envision ourselves becoming. It's like, it's already us, right? We're like the David statue. We just have to like chip away the marble that isn't the David. It's already within us. It's just a more expanded version of who we already are, right? And a lot of it is not adding things to, some of it's just cutting things out, right? How easy is that? It's just stop doing stuff. You don't even have to like pile on more. It's just like, stop doing some of the things you're already doing. Mindset is huge, right? The way that you perceive what is happening around you, how you're responding to it, that can be causing a lot. I mean, just thinking of things shifting from feeling scarce about a situation or fearful rather than feeling secure and confident, game changer, game changing. Small shift, right? Small shift. So, fortune wants to turn in your favor, but you need to offload all of this grief and move on from being stuck in like thinking about something that's already come and gone, right? Let it go. It's sucking the life out of you, right? And if you actually have an energy vampire in your midst, get rid of them. Lose their number. Just, you're busy. You're washing your hair that day, but like, keep them away from you. I also keep seeing that these orange circles. Ooh, sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is the second chakra. It's down in the lower abdomen, in the pelvis region, in the womb area, but it is the creative center. It is associated with the moon, full moon coming up, the water element, creativity, fertility, astral plane stuff, the dream world, like your nightly dreams, imagination, psychic gifts, and things of the like, appetites, as far as like food, you know, things that we lust after, sexual appetites. So get those into balance. If those are out of balance, they might be playing into the reason why we're holding on to a situation, or we don't feel secure enough to let it release it or surrender, you know, and let it transform and transmute. Okay. All right, you guys, y'all be good, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.